Hi, it's Carissa and I have a fun project for you today, and I'm going to make a little Halloween treat box using the Matchbox die from Stampin' Up! And I'm going to use pumpkin pie, chocolate chip, and old olive. So what I've done here is I've cut a piece of pumpkin pie paper in half. This die really would work better with a 12 by 12 sheet of paper, but I didn't have that, so I'm making it work. If it was 12 by 12, I could just cut it in 6 inches and lay it across this whole thing and then it would fit. But I didn't have that. So in order to cut both the box and the lid, I needed 2 separate pieces of paper. I couldn't figure out, it wouldn't fit with one. So what I did was I just cut it in half, and I'm going to layer them on here. Now this little piece of old olive I want for this label right here, so I'm going to stick that right there. And the Big Shot will cut several layers at one time, so you don't have to run this through more than once. So once I get this all layered on here the way I want it, then I'm going to bring in my Big Shot and I'll show you how to cut this out. Okay, so here I have my Big Shot, or I have a really old version, so it's called the Big Kick Machine. I have the sandwich that I've created with my cutting pads, and this die, because it is so long, does require the extended cutting pads, which go the length of the die. And I have the die and the paper sandwich between those cutting pads. I'm just going to turn my crank here, and you'll see this is quite a long die. Oops, sorry about that. I have my hands in the way here. There we go. And then I just run it through like that. You hear that wonderful cracking noise. I will move this machine right out of my way. And I have all my pieces cut out. Now, I like this die because along with not only the box, but you have these fun little labels too. And because I had several layers of paper, I can use these, even though I don't want to use them on this project, I can use them for another project. You can also just cover the portion of the die that you want to cut out, like I've done with this little scrap piece of paper, and you can just cover that and run it through and get what you want out of the die. So you don't have to cut the whole thing every time you run it through. Just put the piece of paper on the part that you want to cut, and voila, there you go. Okay, so here we have our box base with our score lines, and we have our box top. The box top is very easy to put together. I'll show you that first. You're just going to take, and on your score lines, you're going to fold it. 1, 2, there's 4. 3, 4. And run some adhesive along this. And here is your box top. Alright, so to put the base of your box together, you're going to fold first on these, what I would call the long edge of the box. You're going to fold those up and over and the side in. So once again, the long edge of the box, fold them up and this piece in. Okay, now in order to make this a little bit easier, I'm going to go ahead and pre-fold these up in towards the box. And these little tabs here, I'm going to fold up. Or what I would say would be away from the center of the box. Like everything folds towards the center of the box except for these tabs here. And they just fold up or away from the center. Okay. So we have these sides folded in, and we're simply going to take these tabs here. We have one more fold that I need to fold on to make this a little bit easier. So we have these folded up and in. We're going to take these corner pieces and push them underneath this end piece, and then we'll simply just push that end piece into place. And the tabs that we folded away from the center of the box, those actually help to hold the box in place without adhesive. So these fold underneath. You see that? Underneath there. And then this just folds down and into that. And there is the base of your Matchbox. Okay, so, oh, by the way, I got a manicure today. Thanks, Mom. It's only been, what, 8.5 months since Christmas, but I finally used my gift certificate for my manicure. Anyway, moving on. I have this stamp set from Stampin' Up. It's called Holiday Best, and I'm going to use this Trick or Treat stamp right here, and I'm going to stamp it in chocolate chip ink on this label that I cut out using, it was on the Matchbox die. I showed you that at the beginning. So I'm just going to ink this up real good. I kind of like to stamp crooked. I don't know why. Maybe I'm just kind of weird that way, but there we go. We have that stamped on there. Okay, so we're all fixed and glued together here. You can see how this box operates here. And what I have here is a piece of chocolate chip cardstock. It's been embossed with a Cuttlebug embossing folder. I don't know what it's called, but I will put it on the screen. This piece of paper here is cut at 1 7/8 by 2.5, and I just measured the top of the box and cut it down 1/8 of an inch smaller to fit that. So I'm just gonna put this on here. It's probably easier to do this before you put your box top together, but it seems like I really like to do things the hard way. I would save myself a lot of grief sometimes if I would read directions and do things in the proper order. Okay, so then I have this label that was punched with the Matchbox, and I had stamped that with the Holiday Best. And I'm just going to ink the edges a little bit of this, just to kind of distress it just a bit. And I'm just taking my chocolate chip ink pad and just running it right over the edge. Now, if you want a little softer distressed look, you can use sponges or ink daubers. I didn't have one handy, and I thought I wanted that on there, so I just did it with my ink pad real quick. That's what I had out. I'm going to grab my Stampin' Dimensionals, and I'm going to put this on the top using Stampin' Dimensionals. You can see where I stamped this earlier. So there's my little box, and then I'm going to show you a cute little idea of a little treat to put inside of it. Okay, so I have 4 of these Hershey's Nuggets candies. And I have 4 strips of pumpkin pie designer series paper. This is cut at 1 by 3. And I'm just going to put a little adhesive on here. And I'm going to wrap this around each piece of candy. Okay, so it's just that easy. Bring my box base over here, stick them right inside of there, and voila! An adorable little gift that you made all by yourself with a little treat inside. Fits 4 of these perfectly, and I hope you like this video today. I hope you have a great day. We'll see you soon.